How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Night Shift's doing another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, but you will see Subarus on this channel. My wife's into Subarus. She built this car. I built her this car. So today the video is going to be about the truth about EJ20X swaps and everything you need to know about the swap. Both of these cars were wrecked. This one is a salvage title, rebuilt title now. This one's a clean title. I bought it wrecked and blown up. Still ran when we got it. I drove it around here a little bit, but it knocked pretty badly. And it was wrecked in the front. That's a new Subaru bumper, not aftermarket. It actually fits really nice. So this car has the EJ20X swap. This car has the EJ25. This car is all factory. It's not tuned or anything. It's got exhaust and intake and dual port blow-off valve, which we love on this car. It runs great. No check engine light. This car, I bought this car because it was $3,000 and it has 3 or 4 grand worth of upgrades on it, and actually I would guess closer to 5. It's tuned, it's got almost every accessory you can get from Cobb. It's got, I put a header on it with a 20 swap, which it didn't have, but it had the full NVIDIA downpipe and dual exhaust out the back. This car has pretty low miles. This one has 130,000 on it, or maybe 140 now. We drive it quite a bit. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the swap on this car. So we bought the EJ20X for, I think I have $1,400 into it with shipping. I bought the car for $3,300 with the Cobb tuner. He wanted an extra $300 for the tuner. All said and done, I've got 5 grand into this car. All said and done with rebuilding that car is closer to 10 grand. I think it was a little over 8. So affordability, yes. If you want a clean title WRX, find one that's blown up anywhere. They're 2, 3, 4 grand. Buy your EJ20X and put it in. Don't listen to what everyone says. Do your research. Know how it goes. Everything off the 2.5 fits on the 2.0. I did do headers on it just because I don't like the factory cat in the manifold. I don't want to, obviously they can blow apart, ruin the turbo. So I guess we will pop the hoods and take a look at each one. And I'll show you that this one's got a 20X in it. And maybe we'll talk about the mods a little bit. And then maybe we'll fire this one up, take it for a drive. I did want to talk about the tune that's in this car. It's a stage 2 from Kinetic Motorworks, running 14 pounds of boost. And everyone will tell you an EJ20X has too high a compression to run high boost. Not saying 14's high, but it's higher than these cars came with. All I did was go on the tuner itself and pull 2 degrees of timing out of it, because it was pulling 4 degrees out during shifts, which isn't a big deal. It can pull timing out during a shift. It's normal. But it was pulling 4 or 5 degrees out. So I took 2 out of the computer, and it's been great. I beat this car. I really beat on this car. And another benefit of a 20X is they love to be revved. It's a little bit lower. Well, I should say it's a little bit lower displacement, which I believe makes them like to rev more. I raised the rev limiter 500 RPM on this, but I could raise it 1,000. So this car Here's a 2.0. This is a 2.5. This car is a little low on power until $3,000, which you'll see in the video. But once it's at $3,000, this car is way faster than that car. Way, way faster. And yes, it has a stage 2 tune in it, but you know, there's 0.5 more displacement on that car than this car. And it does make it a little bit more difficult to take off. You gotta ride the clutch a little bit, or rev it more, whichever, you know. But let's open the hoods and let's take a look. All right, so here's the cars. We'll start. Well, why don't we just go with the stock one first? So this is an EJ20X. We got the parent intake, which we love. That's the colors that are going on the next car that we build. This car is probably going to be used this winter and then sold. And we're going to build another one with an EJ20 like that one. Which can tell you one thing. We like the EJ20. We have both of them. And that car has more power. It's more fun to drive. Way better fuel economy. So here's the EJ20X. Notice that these have a air pump from factory. I think this is the first year of that. This body style. This is a 2010. First year of this body style would be 2008. So dual port blow off valve, which we love. That's great. Turbo Smart does a really, really good job with those. The parent intake is great, but I ordered this and I swear it took 3 months to get. They kept giving me some excuse about not having one powder coated yellow, although it said it was in stock when I ordered it. So that was a Christmas gift that showed up 4 weeks late. So thanks, parent. So here's the EJ20X. Cobb boost controller, Cobb Grim Speed intake. It's got the Cobb blow-off valve, Cobb tuned. It's got headers on it, NVIDIA downpipe, and no air pump. So one thing you need to know about an EJ20X swap is there's not just an EJ20X. There's an EJ20X and the EJ20Y. If you want to run an air pump, which Cobb will not delete an air pump anymore. I have a check engine light because of that. I'm going to delete it with HP tuners, which this car technically will never take a sticker again once you delete things out of the computer, which is normal in the United States now. But buy an EJ20Y if you have an 08 and newer WRX and you want to do this swap. It has an air pump. You can put your air pump from the 2.5 on it. EJ20X also has a cam phaser on the exhaust side. 2.5 only has one on the top for the intake if it's not an STI. You're going to want to clock that. There's videos online. Just clock the lower cam when you do your new timing belt, because why would you put a motor in without doing a timing belt? And your car will run perfect. If it doesn't run perfect, you got the timing wrong when you did it. I did all this myself. I know it works. So let's look right. Well, maybe you can't see it down there, but it says EJ20. Let's fire it up. I will tell you the EJ20X is quieter than the EJ25. I guess they call it EJ255. To me, it's EJ25, the same 2.5 that's in every Subaru. You can actually use the block and heads in this car from almost any year 2.5. People don't really believe that, but excuse my squeaky clutch pedal.
And they got to get back to ball. Giants go 4 receivers to the left on third
thing I wanted to show you is these cars actually have a really weird warm up, and they run kind of rough when they're warming up. But yeah, they do like a reduced power mode when they're warming up, which is actually nice. You know, you can't hurt the engine when it's cold. One thing I wanted to show you though was we were getting 28 miles to the gallon with this car, and I verified that 4 or 5 times, so I know it's right. Which is a huge improvement on the blue car. I think the blue car gets 23. Let's see what the exhaust sounds like. Point I wanted to make was that to do this swap, literally all you're going to do is pull everything. You're going to want to take the 20X down to the block. You leave the heads on and valve covers and all that, and the water pipes under the intake, and just bolt everything on from the 2.5. And that's literally it, other than adjusting the cams like I said. No, it runs pretty good. This motor had 76,000 miles on it when it was shipped here from Japan. And yes, they really do come from Japan. Not a play on any early 2000s movies that we've all seen. So yeah, this car was wrecked. It's in good shape. Like I said, I have maybe 5,000 into this car the way it sits, which is amazing. It's a 2012. I don't think I mentioned that. So, it's modern. And again, like I said, it runs perfect. The only time I get a check engine light is for the air pump every now and then. That obviously doesn't have one. But I'll fix that. It does, when that check engine light comes on for that, it does take out another 2 degrees of timing, which is neat, you know, so you don't hurt the engine. I suppose, we'll shut this one off, and we'll do a little video of the 2.5 running. I feel like everyone's seen that, but maybe we'll drive that one and we'll drive this one just to see how it goes. You know, we can maybe compare driving them, I guess. But this one's way faster. We'll just say that right off the bat. So let me grab the keys to the other one and we'll just do the same thing with that one real quick. All right. I went and stole the keys for my wife. So let's fire this one up. Just compare real quick. And I guess we will drive both. So I forgot to mention her sweet shift boots. Knee brake boot. Much less fuel mileage. that's accurate. We've checked it. So, let's hear the exhaust. We actually like the sound of this one a lot better. It's much louder, even though it has cats on it. So, let's take a little listen here. It sounds good. They both sound good in their own way, honestly. And again, not much different under here. You know, again, the 2.0 and the 2.5, the engine is almost completely identical. One thing I meant to say about this car was that right now we're using it as a winter car. So it's been sitting most of the summer. It needs brakes and stuff. Obviously, it probably needs brakes from sitting around, really. We will be selling this car if anyone's interested at some point. We may run it through the winter, but let me see if I can get her to come out here and rev each one up so you can hear it, I suppose. Alright, shut it off and switch to the other one. So, this one's way louder than the other one. We both really like the way this one sounds. But this one has its own tone that sounds really good as well. See, that one just has a little bit, maybe a deeper tone, not as raspy, but it sounds good. So I will take you guys for a ride in each one now. All right, we're in the black car, EJ20X. Driving car. Sorry about the clutch pedal. I hear about it every day of my life. I believe it's actually the slave cylinder. Bushings are dry, O-rings inside are dry. Actually, that would be the master cylinder. Did I mention they both need brakes? Sorry if the phone's a little shaky. I don't have a mount in the car. I'm using a selfie stick jammed in between the seat and the center console, so it's a little bit tough. We'll do a little second gear pull here. this one has two-step, and I'm used to resting my foot on the clutch pedal. I have a 5-speed Silverado, which there'll be some videos on. But sometimes it gets me between shifts, or wondering why it feels like there's no gas pedal. So, the two-step's cool. And you can actually do, you know, like rolling launches with that. You just, you know, rest your foot on the clutch pedal and bring it up to the RPMs and then get off of it. Obviously, don't push the clutch pedal or be slipping it. But yeah, this car runs great. And it's got a ton of power. We just did a second gear pull. I wasn't looking at the speedometer, but you guys probably saw it, 80. So yeah, I'm gonna turn around, go back, and do a drive-by with this car, and then I'll get in the blue car and we'll do the same thing. Again, I'm sorry that the video is shaky. I will try to get a better car mount and maybe do a master cylinder so you don't have to hear the clutch squeaking so bad. We'll come back with the blue car in a minute. Alright, now we're in the blue car. And I did get a new phone, iPhone 15, so I turned on action mode. So maybe it'll get rid of the shaking on the camera. And I am sorry about the seatbelt buzzer. In New Hampshire, we don't have to wear a seatbelt, so I like to take advantage of that. But safety third. Always be safe. Especially you kids out there. I've had a head injury and it is not fun. Alright, so this is the car with the 2.5. As you saw in the drive-by on the black car, it goes pretty good. It sounds nice. This one, honestly, the dual port blow-off valve is very nice. It sounds good. You'll see that in the drive-by, but you'll hear it in a second too. The black car also has an aftermarket clutch, which it had when I got it. I just put it on the EJ20. I do like this car. It's not that I don't like this car that we're going to get rid of it, but it is a narrow body. The other car is a wide body, and she really would like a wide body sedan. So we're going to find one that needs a motor. We found a few already, but I want to see just how cheap I can build one of these cars. The black one was pretty cheap, but yeah, it could be better, could be worse. But I just want to see. So, let's do a second gear pull. Phew, so much power, the camera almost went flying. So, yeah, this car's a little bit slower. Again, the fuel mileage is a lot worse on this car. And one thing you have to remember is with these cars, you're running premium or super premium. I run super premium in the black car because it is a high compression engine running a good amount of boost. Probably too much boost for it. But like I said, I beat on that black car so much every time I drive it. Because I want to see just how tough the EJ20 is. You know, the price point's great. The power, I think, is great. A lot of people complain about the power. But at the end of the day, I've got a great car for cheap money. I just watched one with a blown motor go at the auction yesterday that we were going to buy. It went for $4,500 with a blown motor. And the body was pretty beat up, bumper beat up, dents everywhere. So I'm happy with it, you know. That one that went at the auction, they're going to put a motor in it, and they're probably going to sell it to somebody for 10 or 12 grand, you know. So yes, this car's great, but it's expensive to buy one that's all original with the 2.5 in it. If you want to get into one of these cars and have money for mods, just do it this way. Find a blown up one, find one with an engine problem, put an EJ20 in it. Then you don't have to be scared to beat on it. The EJ25 has oil passage issues and oil consumption issues. This car, it run 1540 in diesel oil, and also the other car. But this car, the engine is so much quieter with 1540. It doesn't have any ticks or noises. It feels like it accelerates better, it starts better, it runs better. In the wintertime, I switch it to 1030 diesel oil, a little bit thinner, which it actually needs an oil change now, so we'll do before we start driving it for the winter. This car is not even registered right now, so we're going to get it on the road for the winter, probably, unless we find another car and sell this one, you know, sometime soon. We're going to do a drive-by with this car, like the black car, and we will come back for an outro. But yeah, leave a like or comment if you enjoy these type of videos. There's plenty of Subaru guys out there, girls, like my wife, that, you know, love these cars. They're great. I'm not as into them as I was at one time, but they are fun cars, and they're easy to work on. They're so easy to work on. If someone needed a swap done and wanted me to do it, I would do it, no problem. I give you a good deal on the labor and everything. So let's do a drive-by with this car, and we'll do an outro, and we'll move on to the next video. Hopefully we can do another revival or something like that, but we will do Subaru videos in the future. So let's get to that. We'll do a drive-by. All right, guys. So you've heard the cars, we've seen the engines, we've done a drive-by. I don't know if there's anything else you guys need to know about an EJ20X swap, other than it's a real easy swap. I would be willing to do one for somebody or anybody, or multiple, I don't care. Get a hold of me through the comments or whatever. So I love the black car. She loves the black car. We'd like to build another one, but you know, we're happy with the blue one too. It's a good car. Both super reliable. Yeah, the only thing that I can say about the EJ20 is make sure you buy it from somebody reputable. Right on eBay, you know, you can get your money back. You can see, you know, if anyone's had trouble with them in the past, with the seller, all that. I can't express how much of a great swap this is. And I would definitely do every one of my 08 to 13 cars like this. And again, how can you beat this car for $5,000 with a clean title and fairly low miles? It did have 130 on it. I thought it was 140, but so more Subaru content in the future. If you have any questions, look in the comments, put them in there, you know, if it's not already answered. If you like this content, like, subscribe. If it's the first time you're on our channel, we only have 2 videos. I think this is a good second video for what we do. You know, subscribe if you like us. If not, that's fine too. We're open to constructive criticism as well. Maybe in the future, you know, I specialize in 6.0 power strokes, you know, swaps of all kinds. That 4Runner back there has a 2.7 swap in it. Toyota pickup in there with a small block. You know, I have some solid axle swaps I've done. A 5-speed swap Silverado over there. Just let us know if that's any of the stuff you'd like to see in the next video. This is Night Shift Motorsports, and we're on to the next one. Thanks, guys.